Porn is not just pleasure, it's one of the most powerful forms of stimulation that exist for the brain. And the more you watch it, the more it changes what you feel, what you desire, and even who you are. Every time you click, your brain releases an explosion of dopamine, the neurotransmitter of pleasure, motivation, and reward. That feeling of euphoria lasts only a moment, so you look for another image, another video, another stimulus. Without realizing it, your brain learns something very clear. This gives me pleasure quickly, without effort. The problem is that dopamine doesn't just create pleasure, it also teaches the brain what to repeat. And that's where the cycle begins. The more you watch, the harder it is to stop. Over time, your brain adapts. It needs more intense, more extreme, more shocking scenes. This is called tolerance, and it's the same mechanism that happens with drugs. 90% of men and 60% of women have watched porn before the age of 18. The average age of first exposure is between 11 and 13. At that age, the brain is still developing. The prefrontal cortex, the part that controls impulses and decisions, is not yet mature. That's why the impact is greater. Studies show something alarming. Today, millions of young people report having less desire or more difficulty connecting emotionally with a real partner. Not because they are sick, but because their brain has adapted to a form of pleasure that requires no effort, no contact, no vulnerability. Watching porn doesn't make you an addict, but constant use over months or years can change how your brain responds to pleasure. Some researchers call it hypoactivation of the reward system, meaning that normal things, going out, studying, falling in love, no longer release the same dopamine. You feel flat, unmotivated, without energy. And the most curious thing is that the brain knows it, but it justifies it. It says, just one more video. Like a smoker saying, just one more cigarette. The same neural pathway that reinforces addiction to tobacco or gambling is activated by porn. That's why it's so hard to stop. It also changes how you perceive sex and love. Porn is designed to be exaggerated, fast, extreme. The brain starts to see that as normal. After a while, real relationships can feel slow, boring, or insufficient. Not because they are, but because your reward system has been recalibrated to the unreal. Men tend to get hooked visually, seeking constant novelty. Women more often through emotion or narrative, stories, desire, connection. But both end up in the same place. The brain starts to confuse arousal with connection, and love becomes a compulsive search for stimulation. At the brain level, researchers have observed reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex of people who consume porn compulsively. That's the part responsible for planning, self-control, and decision-making. That's why, when someone tries to quit, they feel anxiety, irritability, or insomnia. The brain is literally trying to reset its dopamine levels. And here comes something hopeful. That same plasticity, that ability to change, can work in your favor. If you reduce or stop consumption, the brain can recover. Within weeks, energy, motivation, sleep, and focus improve. Many call it a reboot, a system reset. During that process, some temporary symptoms may appear: lower desire, fatigue, sadness. But it's normal. The brain is recalibrating. And when it's done, dopamine returns to balance. Satisfaction comes back, but in a more natural way. Some people discover that after quitting porn, they start to enjoy things they had lost: music, art, real human contact, because their dopamine is no longer hijacked by the screen. So what can you do if you feel it's affecting you? First, observe yourself. Write down when and why you do it. Is it boredom, anxiety, loneliness? It's rarely just desire. Second, reduce access. Block sites. Keep your phone out of the room or set time limits. Third, replace the reward. Exercise, create something, go for a walk. Anything that activates real dopamine with purpose. And fourth, don't punish yourself. This isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. What matters is not what you did, but what you choose to do now. Science is clear. The brain can change, but only if you give it time and new stimuli. Porn doesn't just change what you see, it changes what you feel. It changes what you expect from yourself and from others. And if you don't control it, it can steal something that has no substitute: your ability to truly connect. So ask yourself, Are you choosing pleasure? Or is pleasure choosing you?